Hello, this is Philip Jarrett, and this is Charleston, West Virginia, and internet station WTFWIT. Yes, that's WTFWIT. What the fuck was I thinking? Headlining the news tonight, the top story, Rachel Dolezal has been asked to be the star in the remake of the movie Black Like Me. She'll also be providing the voice of Sideshow Bob this next season on The Simpsons. We're all looking forward to that, and we hope her well in her future honors. Donald Trump is running for president. Bridge players over the world protested no Trump. We have local news here for Charleston. Now, we have a brown bag there going on downtown today, and it's been moved because of the impending storm and lightning and thunder and all that stuff. They've taken it inside to the Civic Center. So if you're looking for that and you hear this video, then what the hell are you listening to this video? Go down there and you'll get the place you want. Or you can listen to this video down there. I don't care. Oh, and they've asked me to perform some public services. They want to remind people that the brown bags are not barf bags. They're actually bags that will contain your food before you eat it. Remember, brown bags are not barf bags. Let's see. I have obituary today. Floss Knightley of Blooming Rose died today at the age of 92. Her family was proud to announce she had all of her teeth. Weather forecast calls for flash floods. A flash flood, for you people who don't know about it, that's when all the floods text each other and they all get together in one river. That's a flash flood. There's a weather calls for it calls for a 50% chance of rain, a 40% chance, or 50% chance of thunderstorm, 40% chance of sun, and a 10% chance you'll be struck by lightning and killed. That's from the National Weather Service. Ask yourself before you leave the house today, do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk? Madonna is making a comeback. America stifles a yawn. Balcony collapses, killing 6 and injuring more. Nothing funny about that. Cat videos have been found to make you happy. Heroin sales plummet. I tried it. Now I'm up to a 3-cat-a-day habit. This is a political comment from Wild Phil. Not Wild Phil. He usually does the political commentary on this channel, but I'm Philip Jarrett. I'm kind of his older brother. I try to keep it in line. Well, anyhow, I've got political comment tonight because every good newscaster has to be commenting on the politics, even if he doesn't know crap about them, just because he's a newscaster. As my mentor, Jim Comstock. He didn't know half of anything he was talking about. He just kept talking until somebody took him seriously. But this is a political comment about the coming election. I have to ask America this, and this is really sincere, coming from the heart of Philip Jarrett, not Wild Phil. He's all somewhere. Philip Jarrett. You got to ask yourself, America, have we sunk so low that we're looking for our next president under a bush? I've seen the White House. They got bushes all around that place. They do not need more shrubbery. But that's Philip Jarrett's opinion. That's the only thing you're to find on this whole channel, too, by the way. Oh, the North Carolina Fish and Game Commission has a plan to keep the sharks from coming in the shore and biting our children and biting off limbs from our children. This is a very serious problem. You got to understand that. We cannot have sharks biting our children. If it comes down to us or the shark or our children, we're going to take the shark. My plan, though, I've got this plan. Now, what we do, we go about a mile out before you get into the beach. You got a mile out before you get into the beach, and we drop members of PETA out there. You see what I'm getting at? And the sharks will be eating the PETA, kind of like they're going to eat them on bread or something, but the sharks will be eating all the PETA, and none of them will come in the shore and bite our children. This is news. This is news. This is serious stuff. I am recommended that hobby. Just throw PETA in there. This just in, Tamaka airbag recall has been extended to include politicians. And a big shout out this Father Day for the man who I believe should be the Father of the Year. That name is Malcolm Milanez. His son, Rashawn Milanez, was in the car as it was getting carjacked. Now, Malcolm here, being the father, he didn't think fast. He jumped in, put his hand through the roll-down windshield of the driver's seat, and started thumping on the window so hard. He drove him a quarter mile like this, and he's bam, 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 hitting the windows, and the guy gets so upset, he finally slams on the brakes and everything and stops. What he does, Rashawn, Malcolm's son, dives out of the car and gets away. This guy is my Father of the Year, and I think everybody in America should get him a Father's Day card and send it to him. But that's just me. I've got all kinds of crazy ideas. Let's see, what was else in the news today? Let me see. Did that one. Oh, God. In the weather today, I forgot to mention that God has sent another flood to Texas. At this point, the water is 40 cubits over the tallest building in Dallas. That's just in. God has sent another flood. Weather calls for... Oh, this is a message to Spike Lee. Remake Black Like Me with Rachel Dolezal. This is for Spike Lee out there. You listen, Spike? Can I call you Spike? Okay. You got Spike Lee out there, and he's going to make a remake of Black Like Me with Rachel Dolezal. I tell you, it's a match made in heaven. We're looking at Oscar. If anybody can act black for that many years in public with other people, then she certainly can act black in a movie. I'm just saying. I like the girl. I think she's cute. I think she was cuter when she was white, frankly, but, that's just my opinion, and I could be full of shit. Paul Walker's cars were stolen by the man he entrusted it to, and within hours of his untimely and early death. The thief's attorney said that his client thought that Paul wouldn't be using him any longer. We're not sure if this defense will stand up in court or not. Bob Bucher was hit by a ball and suffered a concussion. They wanted to put him in the hospital for observation, but nobody wanted to look at him that long. I love this. I'm just picking up the cards I write. I write these cards all night long. Let's see. Oh, there's a fire in an IHOP restaurant in Charleston today. Really tragedy, but it was narrowly avoided. At first, they thought one of the waitresses was missing. But then somebody saw her hopping away, and it was a great deal of relief, and everyone was glad that he was still alive. Oh, God. Oh, I got to mention this. This is something a friend of mine, Doug Owens, invited me to this, and it's down Broadway next Friday the 26th from 5 to 7, and it's a marriage equality meeting. This hits the home with me personally because my one of my nephews, who was born to my brother, who's a fundamentalist Church of Christ type preacher, is gay, and He just had his first child. I don't know how to say this. You say his first child was born when they adopted it, but it doesn't seem like to say he adopted it. That sounds so cold and perfunctory. So I just say they had their baby. Nobody needs to know where it came from. I don't know where I came from, for that matter. I've looked at my genetics, and I'm pretty sure by this time I should about be ready to grow gills, but I'm not sure if that's true. This tight colors of gills. Okay, one more thing. I'm just going to go through every card I wrote. Oh, it's joke night. See, I'm going to bring back the telling of a joke. The last great joke teller we had was Buddy Hackett. This man could tell a joke. Let me tell you one of Buddy Hackett's jokes. Here's Buddy. You got to see Buddy. Buddy was this little tall man. He was pudgy, and he had this face that looked like somebody had kind of taken Play-Doh and squished it up and everything, and he was just the epitome of, God, he was an ugly little thing. The man was a gnome before they became popular. Okay? Well, I got to take my breath every now and then because I get to talking so fast my heart stops a little bit, and I got to go back and relax. Just talk among yourself for a minute. Yeah. Buddy Hackett. Best joke. I want to bring back old jokes. I want to bring back jokes that you can tell to the people at the office the next day, unless you're afraid of a sexual harassment charge. You can't tell these jokes to anybody who is unwilling to listen to these jokes, so best not tell these jokes. These are jokes that you want to hand around the office, but you don't want any paper trail on them or emails. You don't want to be the one that forwarded this joke. Not as bad. I mean, it's not racial or anything like that. Buddy Hackett never went that way. Most of the people back then didn't go that way. Anyway, Buddy gets up on stage, and he's at a nightclub. Back then, you see, in the day, you didn't have the stadium rock. You didn't have the bars with live music. Well, you did have bars with live music, local bars with local live music, but you also had these little tiny little things. The bars with local music, and then you had bigger ones. You had casinos. Now, the casinos were for the rich people to go to, and the bars, country western bars, where you drank beer and, made out with your cousin, that sort of thing. You get that drunk, You tried riding the bull, and you find out next day that you have impregnated the riding bull. You know you've had too much to drink. But I digress. Buddy Hackett told this joke once that really split my britches. And he said this guy goes into the doctor's office. He says to the doctor, "Doctor, what can I do about my penis?" And the doctor says, "What's wrong with your penis?" Well, the man takes out his penis. And his penis is all squished and twisted up into a knot. And it's yellow and blue and red in different parts. And the doctor said, "My God, man, what's happened to you?" He says, "I don't know. Can you help me?" So he helps him as best he could. He gives him, the only thing he could do is he gives him some ointment to rub on it. But this thing is even worse and more painful when he gets an erection, so he doesn't want to rub the ointment on it. We all know how you rub ointment on a penis. I don't have to make hand gestures and let you know what I mean. Okay, so he had to rub this ointment on the penis, but that did him no good because it hurt when he got an erection. So finally, about 3 months later, he meets the doctor. And the doctor said, "How's your penis? Has it fallen off?" And the guy says, "Oh, no, I tapped it out." And the doctor says, You what? Says, "I tapped it out." And, the doctor can't get that. Tell me what you did. Show me what you did. He says, "Well, I tapped it out." You see, when I peed, I gave it a little tap on the end. And if I did that, my penis got straight again. He says, "What the hell were you doing before, man?" He says, I was giving it this. Buddy Hackett told that joke. You can take that to the bank. I am Philip Jarrett. The Wild Phil will be back tomorrow night, or maybe later on tonight. I intend to do these things every morning at 5 o'clock and just basically make fun of myself. Wait a minute, I'm going to make fun of you. Which one? One of us is going to get made fun of, but the point is somebody's having fun. My first wife got pregnant before we were married, and I had to marry her. But, the problem was I was poking fun at her, and she took me seriously. That's my first marriage. Someday I'll tell you all about that, but I'm waiting for my ex-wife to die. I'm smarter than the average hillbilly. All right, this is WTFWIT. What the fuck was I thinking? Out of Charleston, West Virginia, on the unhappiest state in the US of A channel. May you live long enough that you don't have it rough, and you can go to bed at night. You wake up next to her with her curlers and her cream, and she gives you quite a fright. She's your wife. She's not your mother, she's your wife. Treat her like a brother, she's your wife and not your sister. I don't care what John Smith said. She's your wife, and hey, she has got to be the only one. That's Philip Jarrett singing a newly made song, She's Your Wife. Good evening, West Virginia. Have a good night. When the night falls in the hollers and you're up there between the hills in Boone County, and it used to be my people up there, the Snodgrass family, they put in these big night lights, like street lights in the middle of the thing. It makes it look weird because you see it from a distance. It looks like some kind of science fiction thing. This place is just hanging in midair. Before they put the street lights in, they put them in because the bears were coming up and getting their thing out. They actually pulled the trash out, and they'd take it over in the side of the hill, and they'd split it open there and get it all over the place. So, they had a problem with bears, so they put in this light. Big honking street light. Couple of them. You could see all over the place. I was laying in their bed one night, because I was staying with my mom and dad for a couple of days, and I was laying in that bed at night, and I looked over, and there was this bear looking out back at me from the window. He was over by the garbage cans. Now, I decided I would stay asleep, and he decided he would take the food and go away. So we made a mutual agreement that was beneficial to us both. It's what I call a win-win situation. Bear attacks are nothing to laugh about. Somebody attacks you and they're bear, now that's something like her. And if a bear attacks you, well, that only matters if he's drinking a beer. If a bear drinking a beer attacks you, then kiss your butt goodbye. That's the news tonight. And this is Philip Jarrett signing off from WTFWIT, Charleston, West Virginia.